guys. Okay, so this is my nighttime skincare routine. Again, I'm going to show them in the order in which I do them, and I'm not going to do the whole preface with this one. If anybody asks, I will tell them to watch the first 3 minutes of the first one in terms of diagnosing people and what questions I can and are able to answer and which ones I'm not able to. So I'll just get them to refer to that one so I don't have to go through the whole shabangy. Okay, so nighttime. Pretty similar to the daytime, really. I'm just all about keeping things simple. As with all things in life, I just think simplicity is where the genius is, you know, and certainly being a foodie, I know from cooking, you know, like when I try recipes with like 30 ingredients and all this sort of stuff, it doesn't taste nearly as good as something that has 4 or 5 ingredients. So I think that's true for most things in life. So simplicity is best. I start off with Kiss Me Heroine Make Mascara Remover. So basically before I do anything, well, I mean I take out my contacts. After I take out my contacts, I just take this sucker, put them through my lashes, just get it percolating and getting on in there and stuff. Maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds as I'm sort of getting ready for stuff. It doesn't really take that long. You know, I'll just walk into the other room, take off my jewel, whatever. And then I use this, which is the Botanics. I've mentioned this beforehand. It's the Soothing Eye Makeup Remover with Icelandic Moss. I love this. I love this so much that I paid $35 in shipping to order. I don't know how many I ordered, as many as I had, like 8 or 9. I think I'm down to only about 3 or 4 of these, so I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. I believe it's available in the States and in the UK and many other places, I'm sure, but they discontinued this. They used to carry this at our Shoppers. They've discontinued the entire Botanics line. I don't know why, because this thing was and is so good. I think I told you that story when I found out that I literally went to every single Shoppers Drug Mart and said, how many of these do you have left? I will take them all. And I wound up getting a good, like, I don't know, 10, 8, 10, something like that. So since then I've had to order another batch and paid insane shipping for a $6 product. I spent $35 in shipping. It's just that good. Love it. Okay, so after that, cleansing. I use the Benefiance Extra Clean, oh, Lord, too many videos today. Extra Creamy Cleansing Foam. I don't use it with the Clarisonic like I do in the day. I just use this straight on its own. So I use that, or the Sulwhasoo that I am finishing up. And I thought that I was actually going to repurchase this as sort of, as I mentioned in my daytime, again, when your skin gets used to something, it just starts getting a little bit lazy and complacent and a little lax. And so I switch off, but again, switching off with things that are tried and true. These are also things that I've used for, you know, quite a long time. Save for this, it's pretty new. But when I switch it off, I don't just switch it off with something I've never tried. I just switch it off to something that I know really, really works. So it just gets my skin back into sort of fighting form. But I thought I would, because this was actually really gentle and great on my skin. And again, I do like foaming cleansers, and I like the fact that it was a pump. So, you know, as I was getting my makeup off, I would just pump it, and it was really, really easy. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that now. I think it's going to pretty much be replaced with this Tatcha. Yet again, Tatcha shows up yet again. So there you go. But who knows? Really, like with most things, it's what you miss. So if down the road I start missing this, then I will incorporate this back. So there's that. That's the other cleanser. And again, the Tatcha Camillia Cleansing Oil. This is the only oil that agrees with my skin. Well, I can't say only. It's not like I've tried a gazillion. I've tried 4 or 5 of the shoe. That's all I've tried, and I did not like them, and which I then categorized as not liking oil cleansers when I love oil moisturizers and oil balm. I mean, I love oil for my body, for my face, for my nails, for everything. But so this is definitely a beautiful product. I'm not sure if I can incorporate this long term, just because I'm so used to foams, as I said in the previous videos. But if I do want to switch to an oil, because oils are so much gentler for your skin, I might Well, if I am going to do an oil, this would be the oil. So there's that. Those are the three. So then once all of that is done, sometimes I'll get a little remnant still of whether it's mascara or a little eyeliner or whatever. That's when I use the little Bioderma. And I just take that off. There's very, very little, but you know, if there is anything, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But if there is, I will use this. And you just take the large one and I dump it into these little tiny baby ones so it doesn't take much space up on the counter. So that's that. Next is toner. So this is the balancing softener. Now I just finished the balancing softener last night. So this is brand spanking new. I don't know. This is a brand new one, Benefiance reformulated. So I don't know about this one, but I'm assuming it's just going to be brilliant and genius. So there's that. That's my toner that I use. And I love it because my skin is the type of skin, whether it's whatever cleanser I'm using, you know, this kind of foam, like a thick creamy foam, or the oils. Well, maybe not so much the oils, but my face just gets dry right away. Which is why I can't use a lot of misters, because as soon as it evaporates, my skin gets dry. So the softener keeps it hydrated and supple. I don't get that tight feeling. I'm not rushing to just start slapping stuff in my skin, because I'm telling you, this is so bizarre with my skin, maybe for all of you guys. But if there's too much lag time between where my skin is just naked and I don't have a toner on or a softener on, and my skin gets really, really parched, when I put moisturizer on, that damage is already done. My skin is still parched. That's where my makeup is going to look crappy. I'm going to get flakies. Once it's dry, it is dry, and it's so hard. Maybe because, you know, the pores close up at that point, and it's so hard to get everything fully absorbed. So the softener really spares me that, and once I put it on, I can have a long time in between putting my moisturizer, even though I put it on like 20 seconds later. But I'm telling you, the difference between 10 seconds waiting too long and then I start getting that dryness is not good. So there's the toner. Afterwards, I put on eye cream. Some people put it on at the very, very end. I put it on right after my toner, just because if I'm going to be putting on Retin-A, I really don't want a lot of Retin-A under my eyes. So I put on the eye cream next, right after the toner. And this is, the Benefiance Concentrated Anti-Wrinkle. They've reformulated this as well. This is still the old one because I grabbed 2 or 3 of these. And then I just purchased a new one because I heard really great things about the new one. So I've got that. And then there's the Retin-A. Oh, don't want all my info getting on there. I use this Stevia or Stevia? What the heck? Steva. And only because, you know, I'm not able to use the really well-known ones because those are just available in the States. Renova and I don't know. There's too many. We obviously have different guidelines considering we're a different country. So in Canada, there's Steva and one other brand, I believe. There might be another one, but this is probably the most common. So this is prescription, tiny dollop of this. I tend to use it every day until my skin acclimated, and then in the summertime I don't use it every day because then my hyperpigmentation will just come in more and more. Even though it's supposed to help that, it just makes your skin so much more sun sensitive. So I tend to only do it more as a treatment once a week, maybe a couple of times a week. Whenever, you know, again, I listen to my skin. If I'm like, yeah, you know what, I need some, you know, a little good dose of Retin-A. So I'll use that. Can you use it under your eyes? You know what? They have a lot of eye products with retinol in there. So the difference though is retinol is just a lot less challenging for the skin. It's a natural derivative of vitamin A. Retin-A is sort of the synthesized sort of tretinoin version. It's just much more powerful. It's just a lot stronger. It can cause a lot more sort of learning curve with it, really. You know, your skin's going to really start to freak out for a while. Just stick with it. I believe I did a whole video on retinoids, Retin-A, so you can refer to that. But can you use it under your eyes? I tend not to use Retin-A, but there are products, retinol products, or eye creams with retinol in them to use under because it's a little bit gentler. So that's just my own personal preference. I'm sure there are people who use Retin-A. That's just for me. Maybe at a certain point I'm going to try and start incorporating it, but really just using what's left on my hand. I don't think I would actually add anything under the eyes or just use a product with retinol in it. So there's that. If I'm not doing that, it's the Tatcha brightening serum. Really, I don't tend to, again, I just like simplicity. I don't go cuckoo crazy. I don't have 5 gazillion types of serums and potions and lotions and stuff. I mean, mind you, I probably have more than some. So I'm not going to say I'm like, you know, really sort of trimmed and what the heck is that word? I was going to say mainline. I'm thinking about heroin and mainlining. I don't even know where that comes from. Mainstreaming? No. Streamlining. Streamlining! Woo! Talk about... My brain just is completely fuzzed. I think I've done like 4 or 5, 6 videos right now. So, anyways. So it's the Tatcha brightening serum. That's my other serum if I'm not using the Retin-A. And then moisturizers. Where is it? Argan. Argan, day, night, whatever. I use it a lot. Anytime I want to switch off into a cream, I've just discovered the Weleda Wild Rose Cream. Now this is my first tube of it, so I've used, you know, a fair amount. This is what I'm using right now. I don't know if it will be in a video 5 years from now. I do like it though. It is actually really quite nice. So it may. On those days where I want a cream, which is very rare, I really do prefer oils. So there's that. It's definitely very nice though. And my night balm, the Declior. This one's the Iris. I was using the Essential for years. And then I heard, well, that's what it looks like. And then I heard that they weren't making the Essential, and then I heard that they were again, so I don't even know. But the Iris is meant for more mature skin, which is a stage that I'm at now. So, love it. It's so luxurious. It's a beautiful balm. You know, you just sort of melt it in between, and then it's stunning. So, those are, I've got an oil, a balm, it's more of a cream, or the Tatcha Moisture Rich Silk Cream. Now, I will do these two together in the evening time when I want to, you know, I just sort of like these as a pair. When I do the Retin-A, I use it with an oil or something heavier because the Retin-A is very challenging. You know, you do tend to get that scaly, sore, you know, hyper dry, patchy looking skin because of the cellular turnover. You're really sloughing it off and kind of turning over your cells. So you do have a bit of a reaction from this. So with that, I just use oil. So I tend to, those two go together, and then my Tatcha tend to go together. So that's that for the nighttime routine. You know, pretty basic. It really is just sort of like cleansing, toning, moisturizing, and eye cream. Now, there's specialty things. Oh, and the last step is my night balm, which is the NUXE, I don't know. It's the honey Rive de Miel. So like the honey balm that I spoke to you about. It just smells like lemon and honey. It's more of a treatment. It goes on very matte, so I don't wear it out. It's just really overnight. I'll put that on and then go to bed. Now for treatments, things that I don't use on a daily basis is the Enriched Invigorating Night Gel. I've used this for quite a while. I think this is my second replenishment. It's a fantastic product, you know, very glowy. It does have that really sort of tingly, burny sensation for a while and then dissipates. It's not something that you rinse or wipe off. At least I don't. I put that on and then I'll put a moisturizer on top of it. So there's that. The Neostrata, the Skin Renewal Peel. This is like a glycolic. Now I have used, you know, Somewhat. I've probably used it 5, 6, 7 times, but because I was testing out Tatcha for so long, I really didn't want anything to interfere with my sort of impressions of Tatcha. I didn't, you know, because I don't want to use a glycolic and then use a new product because I don't know if it's a glycolic or if it's a new product or what. So I really tried to stay very true to Tatcha for that entire month, maybe a little longer, just use Tatcha. And then I incorporated it, as you can see, my day and night time. And so this didn't get a lot of love. So I will do a separate review on this once I really have tried it for quite a while. I don't know if 5 or 6 times is enough to really fully appreciate what this product is, because I know a lot of people have asked, but I will be doing a separate review on this, just not right now. I just haven't used it for long enough. And then lastly is the Laneige Water Sleeping Pack, and I would say this is the only product that I use after moisturizing. Everything else, it's sort of, a lot of people have asked me, what are the steps, where do you incorporate the serum? So, you know, there's always exceptions to the rule, obviously, like this one is, but the way that it usually goes is you'll cleanse and tone. Some of you don't tone, you don't need to tone, it's not a necessary step for a lot of people, but you cleanse, and then if you tone, and that's where you would put the serum in, right in between that and then your moisturizer. It doesn't make any sense to put in a serum after your moisturizer because you've got that barrier now that's just sort of sealing in all the yummy juiciness, so it's not really going to penetrate from that layer, especially if you're using, you know, like an oil, like I am, like an oil slick. So so that's sort of rule of thumb. I don't like to say a lot of rules, but that's sort of the way that it goes. The Laneige Sleeping Pack X is the only product that I use after moisturizer, because usually after I moisturize, that's my last step and I'm done. Except, you know, obviously in the daytime, sunscreen is my last step and then I'm done. So this goes on afterwards. I tend to use it, it all depends. You know, if my skin really needs to look good the next day, I will use this the night before and sleep with it. Sometimes I just like a little pick me up or a little kick in the ass. I'll use that as well. The only thing I will say is the best thing to do, yes, there are guidelines to everything, and there are experts out there that have sort of said, you know, this is what's good for you, exfoliating, doing this, doing that, all that sort of stuff. And I do agree with it, and I will listen to the experts because I'm not an expert. So, but the most important thing I will say is that I listen to my own skin, because everyone's skin is different. It changes different, you know, times of the month. You know, you're challenged once a month if you're premenopausal. So the weather, your diet, your mood, all sorts of things. You know, your skin is your largest organ, so it really does reflect how you feel inside, how you feel emotionally, psychologically, and also what you feed your body, all of those sorts of things. So, you know, to me, is there a hard and fast rule? You know, I stick with the sort of cleansing, toning, moisturizing, that sort of stuff, and exfoliating and doing that thing. But most of the times, I'll just listen to my skin. You know when it's feeling lackluster. You know when it's looked better. You know when, you know, right now is not the most optimum time for you. All of those types of things you take into consideration, and then, like with all things, your instinct is the best. And so I just grab and gravitate towards the products, one of these products, in whichever order and way, depending on how my skin is presenting itself. So that's really the best. Oh, you know what? Sorry, guys. I have 2 more things. Whoopity. So glad I caught this before I actually processed the video. Right. Last thing is Shiseido Concentrated Neck Contour Cream. I just started incorporating a neck cream in the last year because, you know what? Holy crap. I just noticed as I was speaking, probably from doing these videos, because it's not like I look at myself talking all the time, but right here I started to notice sort of like the aging and the pulling and stuff. Now, aging, you're never going to get rid of it. I'm going to age. We're all going to age, whatever. I don't want to look 20. It's not about turning, you know, back the hands of time. It's about looking as good as you possibly can for your age. I know that there's a real sort of different philosophy from North American philosophy, say, versus European philosophy. You know, I just read this thing about French women or European women. It's never about looking younger. it's just about looking as good as you possibly can as you're living and growing. Whereas for some reason, there's this major push through advertising, marketing, imagery, that's all about youth oriented in North America. I mean, I'm sure it's globally, we're all a global nation anyways, but you know, sometimes you can just go really overboard. So would I go back to my 20s? No. I'm just far happier at this age. Did my skin look better at 20? Yes and no. I think the C ferulic has really helped my skin. The Clarisonic has really helped my skin. So in that way, it's looked better than it has for a really long time. Oh my God, I'm just totally having brain farts all over the place. I swear to God, it's just like free association now at this point. I'm going to start like just having Tourette's and start talking about chicken and whatever. Anyways, so yeah, it's this part though. If I'm going to give any advice to anybody, it's sunscreen on the neck for sure, because when this part, you know, it's not like when you age in your face, you know, these little crow's feet and all that sort of stuff. Like, to me, that's like smile lines. Instead of calling it crow's feet, I call it smile lines and stuff. Like, you've earned it in your face. You sort of see how life has treated you, how you've treated life on your face. And some of these types of things, you know, like those are all like sort of character lines and whatever have you. And, you know, a little bit of hollowing out and stuff. You kind of go, yeah, okay, I can roll with the punches. But right here, this just, no, it doesn't look pretty. There's nothing pretty about it. Like, you know, that can actually be really pretty. On a lot of women, I see that. You know, where I just go, wow, she sure must have smiled a lot in her life. Look at that. You know, it's just, so it tells a story. Whereas this, it's telling some horror story to me, honey. I don't really like that story. I would just like to press, you know, fast forward on that story. So, I noticed it, so I'm just incorporating that for the first time. So I'm really, I can't say whether or not it's worked. I haven't used it for long enough, but definitely focus on the neck. If you're going to focus on anything, it's just taking care of that area, you know, it's applying sunscreen and protecting that area, because, you know, there's not a whole lot you can do in that area. Once it starts going downhill, I'm sure you guys have all seen, like here it looks pristine on women, and then here it looks like, you know, it looks like you're 30 here and it looks like you're 50 here. It's just, it's two totally different things, and that's when you can tell people have probably, you know, done a lot of stuff here, but they can't do anything here. So, okay. Oh my God. This I spoke about in my haul or some video. I don't quite know yet. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this, but where would I incorporate this? After cleansing. So, if anybody wants to know, I'm sure you all know, and now you're just thinking, hello, we're not idiots out here. I apologize for insulting anyone, but, you know, for those of you who want to know and ask, so cleansing, then I'll put this, then I'll rinse it off, then I'll tone, moisturize, blah, blah. So, neck and that, I think that's it, guys. Oh, and then I finish it off with Rapid Lash before I go to bed. The lip balm and the Rapid Lash. I've run it through my brows as well, because my brows didn't grow for like a good 10, 12 years, and I just had the puniest little brows, and then I started using this and it got fuller. And then I saw Pixie Woo's video on her little G whatever brow sort of thing, and I was like, I gotta do that. I went to a brow bar. Anyways, they totally screwed up my brows, and I've had to wait till they grew back in because they took way too much. And anyways, what a nightmare. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, and then the other cream, obviously, oh gosh, you know what? Is La Mer. You've all seen it, but again, I don't want to push La Mer too much on you guys, because again, I just think it's all a bunch of good marketing and whatever have you. So I think that is it. I'm just looking around. There you go. I'm sorry it's a bit of a long one, but I know so many of you have requested this throughout the years, and I really didn't know if I was going to do one, because again, it's almost exactly the same products as before, save for a few here and there. But I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I can answer any questions about the product itself. And those of you who are sort of mid to late 30s into your 40s, who are Asian, I can answer, you know, I try and be as helpful as I can to your skincare dilemmas. But anyone who's younger than that, you know, Caucasian, African, different skin types, I just don't know. We each, our ethnicity groups have different issues and different things that we all have to battle. I mean, we're all battling something, but it's just different for each of us. So, yeah. Whew. Okay, I think that's it for videos for a while, but I hope you guys are really, really well. I'm not sure when I can do more videos. I took this opportunity to do as many as I could, and you know, I think I might have pushed it a little bit too much now. It's starting to get really dry and crumbly and not very entertaining. So anyways, thanks so much, guys, and I will see you soon.